You should stay.
I didn't think that this is what we were doing.
What were we doing?
In April of 2023, Paramount Plus released a TV series based on the reimagining of 1987 drama thriller Fatal Attraction. Now, this release was yet another attempt for a TV or movie reboot from a studio. It's based off of, again, a known commodity. Now, I'm not necessarily against reboots. I am somewhat against reboots in regards to rebooting something that was actually successful in its first run. To Paramount's credit, they actually did wait at least 40 years so that there's current generations of people that have never heard of Fatal Attraction. Now, for me, I would actually prefer that studios go ahead and actually concentrate on rebooting series that had a great premise, but flawed execution, whether it's directing, acting, marketing, release time, whatever. So I would rather that they go and actually show us that they're able to actually successfully pull off a great premise and retool it so that it can be a success. But here we are, so it is what it is. Now, for me, when I go ahead and actually think of drama thrillers, they can kind of be a hit or miss for me. There are those like psychological thrillers that are very entertaining to me. But when it goes into like relationship drama, I kind of tend to lean away from those. This is one of those rare movies where I'm neither the target audience nor am I a casual viewer. So I'm going to have very much a balanced perspective when evaluating this. I'm neither the target audience or the casual viewer. You see, I watched the first 2 episodes of new content on streaming services just to see if they're worth your time. If you like how that sounds, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe. And now, let me get into this review. Now, Fatal Attraction was released in April of 2023 on Paramount Plus. There are 8 episodes in the first season, each about 60 minutes long. Now, it stars Joshua Jackson as Dan Gallagher, Lizzie Kaplan as Alex Forrest, and Amanda Peet as Beth Gallagher. Here's the storyline for Fatal Attraction. A deep dive reimagining of the classic 80s thriller exploring timeless themes of marriage and infidelity through the lens of modern attitudes towards strong women, personality disorders, and coercive control. When looking at a drama series like this, both the story and the character development are meaningful to both target audiences and casual viewers. The story is a bit more complex to casuals as it has to make sense to them to be entertaining. Main target audiences need a competent story, but the characters should be fleshed out well and given logical growth and or development. Casuals would appreciate either some gratuitous sex, violence, or both to make it memorable. Now, let's see if the attraction to Fatal Attraction is fatal. Okay. The switch in this reimagining is that we're following 2 timelines in chronological order. The story 15 years ago, when the infidelity happened and what led up to it. And then we're looking at the present, when Dan is paroled from prison for allegedly killing Alex. Now, in the present, Dan's daughter is grown up and she's trying to decide if she wants to be in her dad's life and if he's really innocent or not. It was smart for the showrunners to have the current timeline because as the past one really follows closely to the original movie and it wouldn't have really added anything new. But having the aftermath be part of the story and that there's the possibility that Alex is alive makes it way more intriguing. I think mains will like the story, especially fans of the original. It's very similar as far as the beats throughout, but perhaps a bit more reluctance on Dan to engage in the infidelity than in the original, just because they have longer time period to convey this over, a few episodes. Casuals will like the twist that Alex may be alive, and if you've never seen the first one, the slow burn hints that the story won't be good for anyone is done pretty well here. This is a good reimagining of the story. In regards to acting, I feel that everyone was committed to doing the series justice. Joshua Jackson and Amanda Peet do a pretty good job as a husband and wife and parents. They seem in love, and they have decent chemistry together. Joshua Jackson then kind of turns into the middle-aged husband, father, stressed lawyer, etc., that has a crack in his life and allows Lizzie Kaplan's Alex to be introduced into his life. And we see that flaw, that vulnerability, and it's there. Now, in the character Alex, Lizzie Kaplan is bringing it. She hits the same notes that Glenn Close did in the original. Nice, smart, flirty, seemingly well put together woman. And as the story progresses, you slowly start to see that she's not mentally all there. And the impact that Dan was having on her is also an excellent portrayal that it's not just her, it's also that relationship with him, the toxicity there. I'm also going to give a special shout out to Toby Huss as my Gerard in this role. I like his grounded character with being Dan's ride or die friend and actually telling him the truth along the way. The series acting is a plus for all perspectives. Some other things that I went and actually made note of in this particular series is the sexual scenes are not quite as risque in the original, but they're close. Not for me. I can't imagine doing those scenes in front of a production crew, especially for as many hours that they had to go and actually do that. So kudos and hats off to Joshua Jackson and Lizzie Kaplan. One of the things that you can tell that they're going to do more is examine Dan's effect on Alex's mental health this time around. Like, what is someone else's responsibility in regards to someone else's mental psyche, and what is their own responsibility? This is going to get deep as you go ahead and actually really think about where we've come as far as mental health from the 1980s to where we are present. I think that's going to be an intriguing look back as far as mental health. And this is a nitpick for me, I realize it, but just things that just came to me is that now I haven't seen Joshua Jackson since Fringe, the TV series, went off the air. So I don't know if he wears his hair like this or if this is like extensions or wig or anything like that he's wearing in this particular series. But I'm going to go ahead and actually say, if this is not his natural hair or hairstyle, this probably is trying to be an homage to the original hairstyle of Michael Douglas in the original. And for me, it just looks silly. It's a nitpick for me, but it's just really weird. It's noticeable to me. Whatever. It's neither here nor there. Just something very superficial that I noticed. But those are some intangibles for me. Let me get to this verdict for you. Say for both main target audiences and casuals, watch the first 2 episodes of this series. The story being reimagined makes it a more compelling story because it's saying that Alex may still be out there and she's waiting to strike. And it's all structured with a realistic character build and good acting. I do kind of wonder if it was necessary to go ahead and actually call this Fatal Attraction, since they have a new twist and dual timelines. You literally could have made this its own entity and name it something else. But it seems that the studio wanted to get whatever residual they can get from the popularity of the original Thriller series. So here we are. But again, for me, I'm going to go ahead and actually say main target audiences, watch 2 episodes. Casual viewers, watch the first 2 episodes. That's what I have for Fatal Attraction on Paramount Plus. Check it out.
I did not kill that woman, and I'm going to prove it.
I appreciate you staying with me for this entire review. Do me a favor, if you have any criticisms, critiques, or anything like that, go ahead and actually leave some comments in the bottom. Or if you liked it, leave some comments in the bottom. Also, I'd appreciate a like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff as I continue to bring you these reviews. There's also other reviews here that you can go and click. The algorithm says that you might like this review, so go ahead and actually check it out. But until my next review, I'll holler at you. Take care of yourself.